Well, my next guests are an award-winning country music duo with #1 hit songs like Are You Gonna Kiss Me or Not and If I Didn't Have You. More than just a successful singing duo, Kiefer and Shauna Thompson are also husband and wife. Would you please make welcome Thompson Square. Thank you guys for being here.
Hi, thank you for having us.
So how did you first meet, and was it a love at first sight or was it love at first sound?
It was, it was kind of love at first sight. We met back in 1996 from Alabama and Oklahoma, respectively. I walked into a place called the Nashville Palace, which is, at the time, it was one of the only few places that you could go as a singer, get up with a band and try to win some big money, you know, $20, $30.
Yeah.
Which is big money.
Really big money.
Yeah. So I walked in and I saw her. She was up at the bar signing up with her song and getting ready for the show or whatever. And I walked in, I saw her, and I was just like, wow, man, this is something else. And I immediately went up to her and pulled out some of my best lines.
Yeah. What were those best lines? Are you going to tell us?
Well, I said, you know how to play pool. You know, there was a pool table handy. I said, well, that might work.
Yeah.
And she said, sure, you know. So,
I didn't tell him that my dad owned a pool hall and an arcade when I was a kid.
She didn't tell me that.
So it's really good at pool.
You hustled him.
I did.
She did. It was embarrassing, but I thought, you know what? If you know, not that you know, girls are better than pool players than men or vice versa, but I said, if I can find somebody who can destroy me at pool, I should probably stick with this girl, you know?
Now, so how hard is it to perform together, to rehearse?
Stop it.
Boy, that didn't wait long. I mean, it's got to be kind of tough because you're together all day and you tour together and you sing together and you record together and all these things. Yeah. So do you sometimes say, I've had enough of you?
You know, the hard part, I think, is we never get to miss each other.
Ah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We love doing what we do together. I couldn't imagine standing up there and looking over and him not singing there with me. But
it's just, it's a
people ask us all the time,
strange.
how do you do it? How do you do it? And we don't really have a good answer. We're just best friends, you know?
What's been the biggest thrill? I mean, was it the Grammy nomination? Was that the biggest thrill in the career?
That was a pretty big one.
Yeah.
You know, honestly, you know, growing up, WSM and the Grand Ole Opry was kind of just, that was the pinnacle, because my dad worked for a National Life Insurance Company, which started that whole thing. So it was like, if you ever get if you can make it on the Opry stage, you can get on the Grand Ole Opry, man, you've made it, you know? And the night that we debuted on the Opry and John Conley brought us on, all of our parents came and they sat in the front. And so I'm sitting there, and I'm looking at my mom and dad, and I'm just like, keep it together. Keep it together.
Did they keep it together?
No, I was talking about me.
Oh,
I was talking about me. Yeah, I don't want to worry about them.
Did you keep it together?
I did. I did.
Now, one of the big life changes that you guys have had, not only Grammys and all this stuff, but you had a baby.
We did.
Like 3 years ago, right?
Yeah.
And
it's not a baby anymore.
Not a baby anymore. But you've written a book for children, Time to Get Dressed. This looks like a real practical thing, like you had to do some personal experience about getting a little boy dressed, right?
And I appreciate you having us after the intellect, the book that was just out here. It's like, oh, and here's this guy.
I can read this one. I mean, it's pretty easy. I like this.
Well, I was saying the pages are thick, so you don't have to write that much.
How did you, what was the inspiration behind the book? What did you say? We want to write a book about a kid.
Well, actually, Kiefer, he's an amazing dad, by the way. I have to say that first and foremost. He was upstairs getting Cooper ready for the day. He was about 9 months old at the time. And he was actually getting him dressed, and he started singing this little song, Socks, Socks, One by One. I said, what is that? Is that something your mom used to sing to you as a kid? And he said, no, I just made it up. And I was like, you need to finish that. Like, seriously.
Just go down. It's more like go downstairs and buy that right now.
Yes, get down there.
That's a hit.
Yeah.
So he did. He went downstairs and finished it out, and then we were super excited about it. We sent it to our manager, and our manager was like, oh my goodness, you have to make this into a book. And we found an amazing artist to illustrate it, and never in a million years did we dream we'd have a kid's book.
Well, we're so excited to have you guys here, and not just to talk and tell us about the book, but we're going to make some music here in just a little bit.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
So I want to say thanks to Kiefer and Shauna for joining us. And Keith, while we're getting ready to play some music, why don't you tell the folks at home how they can connect up with Thompson Square.
Well, you can get a copy of their new kids' book, Time to Get Dressed, as well as their album Masterpiece at thompsonsquare.com. That's where you can also find out when they'll be performing in your town. That's thompsonsquare.com.